And we are live. Welcome to the live stream. Another Saturday. Sorry, I'm late coming. If anyone was waiting, I hope I didn't have too many people waiting. If you've been to a few of these, then you'll know that I'm usually a little bit late with these. I try and do them around 9 sharp, and sometimes I am on time. But you know, sometimes I'm not. And today I'm just a little bit late. But today we're looking at overcoming writer's block and strategies for songwriters. I hope everyone's doing well. Just let me know if you're watching this live. Just let me know that you can hear and see me okay and everything like that. Just when you can, that would be amazing. And yeah, sorry I'm late. It's basically I have to put my son to bed sometimes, and you know, sometimes he goes to bed a little later and it takes a little longer to get him to bed. Shout out to any parents out there, but yeah, excited to kind of get into this and talk about this a little bit. I have my apple juice with me. Keep me awake, you know, very important. Okay, so first I kind of want to talk a little bit about like what it is, and obviously I'm coming at this from my angle and my point of view. So we're going to cover, I'll just talk about what we're going to cover today a little bit, and it's basically we're going to look at what it is, why does it happen, and then I'm going to kind of go through 5 kind of tips, I guess, that I find useful to get through to kind of overcome writer's block. And then I'm going to show you a few songs that I'm currently working on at the moment and currently kind of stuck on, I guess. My big problem is actually finishing songs. No problem starting songs, just finishing them is my big problem that I'm still trying to get better at, you know. And I think it's important to say, you know, this is something that happens to everyone at some point, you know, some more than others. But yeah. So what is it? It's basically when, you know, you're looking at a blank page, feeling stuck. Like if you saw the thumbnail of this video, it's you know, it's you're blocked, you're stuck. Kind of in a rut, need to get yourself out. This is obviously all my perspective of what it is. It might be different to you. I always feel a lack of motivation, a lack of inspiration, and a lack of ideas when I feel like I'm on a writer's block. You know, but let me know in the comments below what it is for you. What's your version of writer's block? And does it how often does it happen to you? You know, I'll be really interested. You know, a lot of these live streams are part of me hearing your kind of perspective and point of views of this. You know, so and why does it happen? It's natural and normal, you know. It's something that we all go through at some point, I think, and we continue to go through. You know, it's something that definitely happens to me on a fairly regular basis, I would say. But they never last for that long, you know. It's kind of small writer's block, and sometimes it lasts for a bit longer, but usually it doesn't. As I say, my personal problem is actually finishing songs, so I don't really have a problem starting them. And that's more about that I get kind of a little bit bored of the song, maybe, or something. I don't know really why it is. There's that first initial sort of adrenaline, a little rush of like, oh yeah, this is a new song. It sounds really cool. I'm really enjoying writing this. And then I kind of want to move on quickly, or I feel like I can't rush it too much, because a lot of my songs are story based. So I feel like I need to spend some time writing the story or working out what the story is before I can continue too much, So that's my kind of personal experience with it. But yeah, why does it happen? It's a natural and normal thing. It's emotional or mental fatigue, It's when you're emotionally, mentally drained. I think if you're not in the right headspace, that can often lead to writer's block, I know it has for me, for sure. If I'm just completely exhausted and drained, it's really hard to motivate yourself sometimes and find the inspiration. And also another reason for why it happens is perfectionism as well. I find is like, I find that a lot of the time, I used to not continue on a song because I felt like it wasn't good enough. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt like this before. If you started writing a song and then you've kind of just scrapped it because you feel like it's not good enough. I've stopped doing that now. I really try and finish the songs. I mean, maybe that's also probably another reason why I'm not finishing songs, because I feel like, it's just not quite good enough, and I just kind of move on because I want to write something better. But I find songs kind of find their groove over time as well. I'm trying not to judge a song too much on just the first sort of draft, if you will. Sometimes they can take months, years to really find their way. And some of the songs I didn't like at first, and now my favorite songs, So don't be too quick at judging your songs too quickly, Give them time to breathe. And I think it's important also to finish songs, And I'm talking to myself more than anything here. These live streams are a lot about me just reflecting my own thoughts and my own sort of my own thoughts, basically, back at myself, But it's definitely good to get people's opinions on this. So if anyone is watching live, just drop me a message and let me know if the audio is okay. Sometimes I feel like it might be clipping a little bit, but I don't know, sometimes sounds okay. I've actually got a limiter on this program that I'm using. I use OBS to stream, and you can put like a limiter on. So I've put a limiter so it shouldn't go over. It shouldn't distort or anything like that. Sounds okay. It sounds okay. It's not distorting. Anyway, moving on swiftly to 5 tips. 5 tips. Number 1 is taking a break. Stepping away from music temporarily allows the mind to recharge and gain fresh perspective. perspective. I said perspective. Perspective. Take a walk. This is something that I'm, because I'm in a basement here. I don't know if you can see that, but this is a proper basement. No windows. Well, I have windows. They're just on the edge there. You probably can't see them, but they're, I'm looking out onto a brick wall. It's one of these things. I can't. There's no light coming in. It's all unnatural light all the time, and which is fine. It'd be nice to have some light, but it's just sometimes good to get out if I'm feeling like I'm stuck and I can't progress. It's sometimes good to just take a break, step away from the situation, go for a walk. I mean, I live in a city, so I haven't got massive amounts of greenery around me. I don't know where everyone else lives, but I have a park directly opposite me, and that's nice. At least that's something. I take a walk in the park, but if you live in an area where, in the countryside, for me, I need to surround myself with green, with trees, with something natural. A park is fine, but better would be a forest. That's really nice. If you have that, that's a really great way of giving your mind just a kind of a break, just step away from the situation, new surroundings. This is something to kind of get the creative juices flowing, I guess. And maybe even longer. Maybe you need like a longer break somewhere, a weekend, a day, a weekend, a little holiday. I realize that we all can't take just holidays because we're feeling blocked in our writing, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to get at. Let me know if that works for you. Let me know in the comments. Do you enjoy walking? Do you take a break? Does that work for you? Absolutely works for me. Spending time also with family and friends. This is something, I think it's just about taking your mind away from just thinking like trying to, I need to write something. I'm looking at a blank page. I can't come up with anything. Why am I not coming up with anything? Step away from the situation. So that's number one. Number two is seeking inspiration. And I mean, this is a big one, obviously. We all want inspiration. So actively listening to different genres of music, attending concerts, or exploring other forms of art can spark new ideas and reignite creativity. So, yeah, this is all definitely stuff that can help for sure. I like to listen to old music as well. Like listening to new music is really good, and new genres, and stuff that you haven't heard before can really inspire and get those juices flowing. But also revisiting old stuff that you haven't heard in a while, maybe. This is something that I like to do as well. Those old classic albums that you haven't listened to in a while, I definitely have lots that I just put on and I like listening to them. This really helps me, this really, really helps. Attending concerts is really, really good. Although I don't get the chance to really do it, I should do it more. Because I live in a city, I live in Berlin, and there's concerts happening all the time, everywhere. A lot of them is very cheap or for free. You know, they just do a pass around the hat kind of thing. I should do that more. I say I don't get the chance. I'm just lazy. I think I'm just a parent, and not just you. I'm not using that as an excuse not to go out, but you know what I mean. It's the easier option to just stay in and do stuff indoors and not go out. But I really want to make an effort this year and next year to go to concerts, because, you know, I don't know how long I'll be living in a city for. I'm pretty sure the next time I move, whenever that is, probably be for a while, but, you know, it'll probably not be moving to another major city. So I definitely want to take that chance to see more live music. That's a really good one. So yeah. So we talked about stepping away, seeking inspiration, listening to new and old music. It might be stories might inspire you. You know, stories inspire me. Watching films, reading about stories. You know, exploring other forms of art. I don't get to do that much myself. That's another thing I would like to do more, you know, but definitely exploring other forms of art can spark new ideas. That's what we're trying to do here, basically. Just spark new ideas and reignite the creativity. So with inspiration, I used to write whenever I got the inspiration, you know. Whenever I got inspired, I used to write. And I used to write only when I got inspired. And this is the important part, because it meant that I wasn't actually writing that much. Because if you have a busy life, you know, you might not be inspired all the time because you're thinking about just day-to-day things, working, shopping, cleaning, whatever, you know, doing whatever fills our day-to-day lives with stuff. And I think just I would have fewer and fewer moments where I would just get inspired and write and start writing and using that inspiration, and, you know. So I really wasn't writing that much for years. But just in the past couple of years, I've decided to change that, and it's really, really helped. And I've been trying to start a song every week. I mean, it's been failing. It's been failing miserably, actually. But I'm determined to get back on it and just start that. Maybe even 2 weeks might even be better. As I say, my problem is not starting the song. My problem is actually finishing a song. So yeah, that's what I've been doing recently. If you have something, let me know your way of writing. If it's, do you do it the first way, how I used to do it? Whenever you get inspiration, and only when you get inspiration do you write? Or do you have actual scheduled writing sessions? This is what I do now. I schedule it in. And during these writing sessions, you know, I force myself to sit down, and I force myself to write. Like, I'm never in the situation where I'm just looking at a blank piece of paper. You know, I force myself to write, even if it's just rubbish, which most of it is. You know, I force myself to just get it out, whatever I'm feeling. And I go through different sort of techniques to do that. And that's maybe something we can dive in a bit later on another live stream. But, you know, just kind of forcing myself to get it out. And the first kind of 5-10 minutes is just blur. It's just rubbish. But then eventually, something comes out, something does come out, and an idea sparks, and then I'm kind of off. I imagine it a bit like starting a train. It's like starts really slow. I'm talking about one of the old trains. Not one of these modern trains that just goes really quickly. It's a lot of shit, a lot of rubbish comes through. I don't try not to swear because I don't want YouTube doesn't like that too much, but you know what I mean. A lot of rubbish comes out first, and it's just like, whoa, let's get that black smoke comes out the top. Whoa, it's really, and then eventually, okay, something's coming out of here. I'm on a roll, and once you're on that roll, it's like, then you're off, kind of thing, So it's a similar thing to that, I feel. So let me know in the comments whether you're watching live or whether you're watching on the replay. What is your method of writing? More like method number 1, which is how I used to do it whenever I got inspired, and only when I got inspired, or method number 2 was actually having writing sessions. And what I'm trying to do now is I always take a little notebook with me, and I'm trying to, in my moments, in these short moments that I have in my day. So a lot of my day, I'm actually teaching. I teach a lot of guitar, and I do like music classes and all kinds of things in Berlin. This is my kind of how I make most of my money right now. In between things, when I have these tiny little moments, I just try and jot things down, and almost like have mini writing sessions where I kind of force myself to write stuff. And it's just whatever is in my head, I try and just write it down, whatever that is, whatever thoughts that is. And it doesn't have to be, it's almost like a subconscious thing. I just start writing. Sometimes it's not even words. I'm just like squiggling lines, like, what am I doing? But the point is, it's just trying to get that out and trying to see if something happens and something little spark. It's a lot easier when you have more time, obviously, than just like 5 or 10 minutes, because then you have like a really quick version of that. But I think it's just getting used to the process of just writing, trying to come up with ideas constantly, having these little sessions. So this is what I'm working on right now. So anyway, I'm going to do a song now, and this is a song that I've played a few times, but it's a song that I'm struggling to finish. It's a new song called Memories, and I have played it a few times. Sorry if you've heard it a few times, but I do like it. And this is what I like to do, is I like to play songs as much as I can, new ones, and try and find their groove, find their footing, because I feel like songs, it takes a little while, for them to kind of find their place. And the more you play them, especially the more you play them live, then the more they'll kind of find their little groove within your repertoire. So this is Memories. We were young, we used to head down to the southern coast. What I enjoyed the most was the sun and the lovely sea. Fresh sea air, it smelled the best when the tide was out. We used to run and shout, release the bird in me. The memory of that feeling was so free. Sand in between my toes, sun cream, it's on my nose. The water comes up to my knees. It's these moments in memory. Sunday morn, me dad said, everyone in the car, we don't have to drive too far. I roll my window down, radio on the blasting, cruising steadily. Who can see the sea is the first to make a sound, and I'm the first to see what I have found. Sand in between my toes, the sun cream, it's on my nose. The water comes up to my knees. It's these moments in memory. Sand in between my toes, the sun cream, it's on my nose. The water comes up to my knees. It's these moments in memory. So that was Memories, my new song that I haven't finished yet. I'm still yet to write one or two more verses on that. And if you just joined us, then in today's live stream, we're talking about overcoming writer's block and strategies for songwriters of overcoming. So we talked about what it is, why does it happen? And we're going through right now 5 tips. So we talked about tip number 1, taking a break. Tip number 2, seeking inspiration. And then I want to look at number 3, which is collaborating with others. And you know, a lot of these in things in this live stream, like I said before, is just I'm reflecting on myself, you know. So collaborating with others. So I'm almost telling myself I've got to do these things more than I'm telling you, or at the same time I'm telling you. And collaborating with others is another thing that I don't do enough. But I'll just go to the chat because I realized that I didn't have the chat open and I couldn't see everyone's. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Sorry, I missed everyone's messages. Hey, Dale, how you doing? Thanks, good on volume. Good to know, just to know. Just a heads up, Paul Simon has a new video on writing songs and his age. It's wonderful. Okay, I'll check that out. Paul Simon. Nice. Okay. And Dale also says, when I write, you don't know what can inspire you. Yeah, that's true. But I've had good luck if a beautiful woman is flirting with me and I get happy. So be happy. Yeah, that's good. I like that one. Thanks, Dale, for that comment. Love it. Yeah, you also said live. Not sure what that means. That I'm live, right? Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, so collaborating with others is a big one. I feel like I at the same time really want to do this, but I really struggle with it at the same time, you know, because I have a very certain way of writing, and I have a very clear idea about what I want. When I come up with my idea, I have a very clear idea about how I want it, and I think that's just because I've been through so many years of doing it my way, you know. And I think that's probably similar with a lot of other people as well, that I find it hard to kind of get other person doing it another way, you know. But it can be really, really good, you know, especially if it's like, if you're just collaborating for fun and it doesn't have to go anywhere, you know, you're just doing it for fun. It can be really nice. But I really enjoy collaborating just with my instrument, you know, not doing like songs with singing and with words and stuff like that, but just as instrumentals. This I really, really enjoy, and improvising as well. This is something that I really, really like. I had a collaboration with a friend of mine called Henry Webster, and we did an album together, which you can actually see on my YouTube channel. And I think it was just we wrote that together and recorded it together in London when I was living in London, and then I had a kid and we moved to Berlin, me and my family, but Henry still lives in London, so then it was just really hard to continue writing together, you know. I feel like it's really important to be in the room, you know. It's very hard to do stuff on Zoom and other online when it comes to collaborating, you know, musically. Although it is possible, you know, and maybe that's something I need to discuss with him, and we need to look at different ways of collaborating. We thought we had some ideas of like, I could record some ideas and then just send it to him, you know, and then he could sort of record some other stuff over the top and use that and then send it back and do this kind of thing back and forth, you know. Maybe that's something we need to look at. But we really enjoyed just improvising together, you know. We could just get together and just start playing and just improvise a whole song together. This is something I really, really enjoy, and it can really spark ideas and inspiration, you know, getting someone else's input in your music. So let me know in the comments, you know, do you collaborate with others very often? Do you have other songwriters or just other musicians to play with? I mean, I'd really like to do more jam nights, you know. I think we talked about this a few other live streams ago. Some people were talking about having these jam sessions, at some pubs or in some bars. This is something that you can find pretty much anywhere. Musicians just getting together and just playing music and just enjoying just playing music together, This is something I'd like to do more, because I feel like that can really inspire and can kind of, motivate you. Motivate the inspiration, for sure. So basically working with fellow musicians or songwriters can provide different creative dynamics and help generate fresh ideas, basically. So that's number 3. And number 4, moving swiftly on, setting goals and deadlines and establishing specific targets and timelines can create a sense of structure and motivation to overcome the block. So this is something that I talked about earlier, of write when inspiration hits. Do you write when the inspiration hits? If you do that, then you won't. Maybe I wasn't getting as many songs done when I did that. Or do you have specific writing times? If you have specific times when you sit down and you write, I'm just speaking with myself, my personal experience, I'm writing a lot more songs than I would do normally, Like I said before, I'm trying to do one song a week. It's not going well, I'll be honest. But I do have, I'm trying to be as organized as I can, because I know my time is very, very limited, like probably a lot of you as well. Like I said before, I teach guitar, I do music classes here in Berlin, and mainly for kids. That's how I'm making my money at the moment. And it's, I also have a little boy, and, my time is limited, like probably a lot of you. So I'm trying to use these moments where I have a bit of time. I can be really super productive with that. And a lot of it is to do with just being organized and setting goals and deadlines and having structures in place. This is what I find more and more. I mean, I'm no means have this down to a T at all, have this smoothly down. It's not, it's still a bit of a mess, but I'm really realizing that more and more that I need to do this. So I actually have these, it's like a piece of paper. It's like, when you have, I can't think of the word. I can't speak right now. I don't know why. Maybe I need more apple juice. I don't know. But these files, right? When you keep paper, right? You keep paper in these files. Is it called a file? A shelf. It's like a shelf, paper shelf. Someone help me with the word I'm looking for. I'm just lost. Can't speak at the moment. Where I have about 4 of them or something, where I have songs that I'm working on, and then I have my kind of finished songs, and that's where I put all my finished songs. And I have my kind of ideas page as well, And so sometimes I come out and I just look at my ideas page whenever I have a moment. And I also have a notepad, or various notepads that I carry with me so I can write down ideas. And I just put that in the page of the ideas, And this just works for me because I like to write down physical things on physical paper and have physical paper and notepads and stuff like this, but maybe an online version is good for you. I think a few streams back we talked about various techniques for songwriting. We did a songwriting live stream, and some people mentioned about doing voice notes on their phone, which I also do, which is really, really handy. If you just come up with something, a little melody, and you want to try and remember it, it's just super easy to just have that recorder on your phone and just record that, just get it down, because there's actually been a few moments where I thought I would remember that melody, that little chord structure, whatever it is, and then I come back to it an hour or so later and I've just lost it. I couldn't quite get it, and that's really frustrating. So I try and do that as often as I can. So I have all these like voice notes as well, and they're kind of ideas as well, so I go through them as well. So it can all spark inspiration if you have these ideas already, but we're talking more about when you feel like you're not coming up with any ideas. That's more what we're talking about here. So yes, for setting goals and deadlines, having these, I don't really set too many deadlines, although having said that, I just did say I did set a deadline for trying to do a song every week, which I'm failing at, but it's we try and have these goals. It's important to try and have these goals, whether we make them or not. I think it's just important that we have them. And then swiftly on to number 5, experimenting and exploring, trying out new instruments, trying out new tunings or musical genres, can break the monotony and stimulate new ideas. This can also really help, So this is the last one, the number 5, experimenting and exploring. That's a given, right? We all experiment and explore, hopefully. Obviously, we can't try new instruments all the time. That would be very expensive to just buy them. But I was thinking about this. Maybe you could go into like a shop or something, a music shop, and just try out a few instruments, and this can spark inspiration. You don't have to buy them or anything like that. I thought I might try this out, trying out a load of guitars, going into my local guitar shop and just trying some new guitars, see if that sparks some ideas or some inspiration. Tunings is another one as well. Although I got to be careful with trying not to use too many tunings. What I mentioned in the last live stream about songwriting was that a lot of the time I just come up with some random obscure tunings and I start composing on that. And then I actually transfer it to one of my more standard tunings that I use, like Dadgad or something. This is also possible because I don't necessarily want to, although sometimes it can be nice to have these just random one-off tunings that you do with one song or something like this, or a couple of songs. I do this as well, but I don't want to do that too much because then I have a load of songs in a load of different tunings. And then if you're playing that live, it's just a bit of a nightmare to just go through the different tunings, unless you have a guitar for each tuning, which is also a bit of a nightmare dealing with that. I try not to have too many tunings, but that can be a really cool way of sparking the inspiration, because obviously if it's a tuning you don't know, then you're just gonna play and see what comes out. You're not thinking too much about what you're playing. You're just it's more of a natural kind of thing, and again with different instruments as well, this can be something that can really spark the inspiration. So that's kind of my 5 ideas, my 5 tips that I would recommend to everyone out there. But let us know in the comments below or in the chat if you have any other tips or ideas about overcoming writer's block. Then letting everyone else know, because a lot of these live streams get views from on the replays as well. So for people that watch it on the replay, let everyone know, because a lot of this is, I'm trying to build a community on with what I'm doing, and with a lot of other guitarists and singer-songwriters. And it's all about just helping each other out and inspiring each other, and growing together. I'm going to end on another song that I still haven't finished yet, but it's just to show you that you can still perform songs that you haven't finished. I feel a little bit, if it's in the right context, like this, like talking about writer's block, for instance. And this one is on actually an instrument that I don't have right now. It's right behind me, so I just need to grab it. But it's a very interesting instrument. And this is on one of the ideas of trying out new instruments. This definitely sparked a lot of inspiration when I was playing this instrument. And let me just get it. Hold on. I need to sort myself out. So this is it. Hold on. Just put my headphones back on. This is the guitar. So if you haven't seen this before, it's I called this Frankenstein, and it's basically a banjo, a 12-string banjo resonator thingy. I believe someone kind of morphed this together. That's why I call it Frankenstein. It's fairly old, and it's not the best instrument in the world or anything like this. And the tuning's always all over the place, and the playing is really difficult to play. And a lot of I'm constantly trying to fix it. Something's going wrong all the time, or something's buzzing. I've got like bits of blue tack kind of sticking to stop the buzzing sounds. And I did a video on this a while back. And I like to use a bit of bottleneck slide on this song. And it's kind of, I can't remember the tuning I'm using on this. I think it's C tuning, some kind of open C. Yeah, something like this. So very, very low tuning. If you haven't seen this video I did on this, then I recommend checking it out. It's called, I can't remember what it's called, Frankenstein guitar or something. Guitar plus 12-string plus banjo equals a very weird instrument. I think I called it that. And for this song, I actually, I need to bring up the words, because it's something that I do all the time is I write a song and I just don't finish it, and I don't come back to it, and I almost forget it, which is sacrilege, because I should really try and finish these songs. So I'm going to try and play this. It's called Get What's Coming, and it's another kind of story. A lot of my songs are based on stories, and it's basically about this guy who's just a mean person, and he's going and he's sort of getting drunk and he's going to bars and he's kind of fighting people and he's up to no good. He's basically saying he's going to get what's coming, you know. And there's something that's going to happen to him, basically. I don't know what's going to happen yet. If you have any suggestions, you know, then let me know in the comments. But something's going to happen to him. So I got two verses of this and a few choruses. So I'll just do that, and yeah, then we'll probably end the stream because it's getting a bit late here. It's 10:15 here in Berlin. All right, let's just go for it. One dark and stormy evening, the rain was pouring down. The pub inside was heaving, outside couldn't hear a sound. One man inside was louder than all the rest combined. His manners were fouler than the worst of the worst you'll find. He's gonna get what's coming. He's gonna get what's coming. The night was drawing later, the rain was coming through, the street cats seeking shelter, and the foxes too. This man came up to another in a dark and furious rage, said you want to meet your maker, I'll have that arranged. He's gonna get what's coming. He's gonna get what's coming. So that was Get What's Coming. And another song that I still haven't finished yet. But yeah, basically, we talked about in this live stream overcoming writer's block and strategies for songwriters. So I really hope you got some value out of this video. I want to just take a moment just to quickly tell you about the community that I'm building over on my website at fabianholland.com. Let's see if I can just show it quick. It's basically for anyone that wants to kind of dive in deeper with me on these. It's for people that want to do that, and it's completely free. You just sign up on my website. See if I can share it here. Yeah, I can. Look at that. And so I share kind of videos and exclusive videos and stuff like this, and basically ideas. And I'm just trying to spark conversations, spark ideas, because, you know, being a guitarist, being a songwriter, being a singer, a solo musician, it can get quite lonely. And it's one of my goals, one of my missions is to create this community and talk about with other people about shared passions, and we can kind of grow together and kind of share ideas and inspire each other. This is what I wanted to do, basically. And yeah, so for anyone that wants to kind of dive in deeper, then just head over to fabianholland.com and you can sign up, or I'll put a link in the description below. So to land the plane now, in conclusion, ultimately, writer's block, it's a common challenge, but with perseverance, an open mind, and a willingness to explore new approaches, it can be overcome, you know, leading to the discovery of new musical horizons. So, you know, I hope that some of these tips would help you. They really help me. And let me know in the comments below if they do, and let me know also if you have any more tips that you could share to everyone else. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching today on today's live stream, and I hope to see you all in another live stream. So thanks again, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.